Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fenlands. Yep, that's right. We're on a different map, and I want to assure everyone that doesn't mean that I've abandoned the previous map. Not at all. Um, just I have been watching Stephen Spry working on this map for a few weeks now, and well, he announced it a month or two ago. Basically, took suggestions from his viewers, and one of the suggestions was the Somersham line up to Chatteris, and it was popular. And I suggested, well, if you're going to do that, you kind of want to be focusing on March. Now, for those of you that are new here, March is my hometown, so I was very keen for March to be on there. And lo and behold, here we have the map. So I absolutely have to build this. But I am going to keep on with our other series, but they're going to alternate because this is hopefully going to be a bit of a quicker one, depending on how much I get lost in it. Anyway, I'm going to run the intro, and then we're going to take a bit of a better look and see what modifications we're going to make. Okay, so starting in the middle of the map. So, as I mentioned before, my hometown of March is up north end of the map. So I am very familiar with this area. Although I now live in Lincoln, I spent the first half of my life down in the March area. So I'm very familiar with it. But of course, this map, as built, is based on around 1890. So lots of fens, not a lot of roads, and of course, we have our rail line down to Somersham with a branch that carries on over towards Peterborough. We've got Piddly, and the line comes through and up here, which is still good and well. However, it's not the March I remember. It's not the Fenland I remember. I was born in 82, and so I thought, how about we change this map up? How about we modernize it? Turn it into an 80s map. So it's going to be based on my recollections of the area at the time. So not everything's going to be right. The scaling in this game isn't 100% either. So there's going to be things we can't do. The river is too wide. And the reason for that is, and I fully support this, it's a navigable river. So I do have a whole bunch of mods installed, and over 300, and this is compared to almost 1,000 for the other playthrough, but yeah, almost 300, and I tried to hold back, really tried to hold back, and yeah. So what do we have to do to this map? Well, the first thing is there's no rail lines as built. However, one thing that Stephen Spry does on his maps, and it's a very good idea, is he replaces the rail lines with these country roads. So, as you can see here, you have the Triangle Junction under Norwood Road Bridge, and the line goes off to Peterborough that way, turn around, and it goes off to Maney is the next station up there somewhere, and onwards to Ely, Cambridge, so on and so forth. Now, there are some inaccuracies, and that's not the map creator's fault. He's just working off historical maps and what have you. So these should all be crossings. So, and some of these roads I'm not actually familiar with. Now, it could be that they've changed or the scenery's changed so much that I'm just not familiar with. Actually, I say that. No, I do know where we are. So this here is Badgerny Road. This here is Silk Road. And these should definitely be roads that meet up and go over crossings. And there are humps to both of them. Now we are going to have to do a bit of terrain modification because, yeah, the humps are not going to be as extreme. So the railway line does need to dip down. Not sure what these ones are. Over here, this will be stony. Is it stony? I think it must be, yeah. So if it is, we're missing the river. Yeah, I'll have to consult on that. I know this is Stony Farm, but whether this... No, that's too close for a Stony. Stony would be somewhere here. Maney would be way out there. But, you know, I like that he's tried to do it. Now, what he has added for functionality in the game is we have a whole bunch of industries, and you can see it laid out with suggestion of sidings. So these are fictional additions just for functionality, and you also have the same thing over here, and added in here, which is optional and wouldn't be here in real life, is the Benwick Goods Railway. And Benwick is here. In reality, Benwick is over here a bit more, but I'm fine with that because we are going to do some modifications, as I say. We do have some villages in, so we have Doddington in, we have Wimblington in. Now, Wimblington, in reality, stretches round, and let me think, trying to visualize this with what's in the game. So where this house is here, you have a sign here that says welcome to Wimblington. You have a sign here that says welcome to Doddington. If you're stood right here, you're in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere, because there's a whole little section between the two villages. So we are going to do some changes. There's a whole host of industries that aren't accurate, which we are going to play with. Some of these probably there at some point, like brickworks. But as I say, this is based on 1890s. We're going to the 1980s. And with that, there's one glaring omission. And that is the bypass. So the bypass would come in, be this road here. The bypass would meet up with the overbridge that goes over. So here would be what is now Tesco. I remember it as Rainbow back when I was a child. So yeah, we'll have the bypass that comes over and essentially comes round the end here and then meets up as roundabout here with the road going off to Wimblington, and then it carries on and jumps on to the old railway track bed. And yeah, so this is the A141 Isle of Ely way, which goes straight down, round about here, and this would be where Chatteris begins. Now, considering Chatteris so close, I'm not all that familiar with it. I've had family live in Chatteris at one point. Yeah, aside from that, and there is a bypass that runs through and down to here. And then this road that comes out of here and shoots off and down towards Huntingdon. So it's crossover somewhere out here, past side of Warboys. What does it curve round? And I don't know. We'll work that out later. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, essentially, that is what we're going to be doing to this map. Now, regarding road structures, so I recognise some roads. So this is Norwood Road here. So it starts there, comes down, comes to this junction here, comes over the railway gates here, which my mum lived in the house there at one point, right next to the railway gate. Comes round, branches down here, that's right, branch off here to here. Now, this here is just a very narrow lane. Oh, Pease Hill Windmill. Okay. So, ironically, this is Pease Hill Road. Comes up into there. You have the Jack and Trunks pub on the corner, or used to very long time ago. This shouldn't be here at all. And this is Robin Goodfellas Lane. This should be a 90-degree curve. This should come more this way. And then it should be a more pronounced up here. This road should be more here, but it should also be a straight road across like that. And that is Maple Grove. My school was here. Herrywood School used to be there. Never went there. My dad did. I didn't. It was shut before I got to that stage. So I think I'd have been about 3 when it shut. So when that shut, I believe I was living in a house just here on Nord Road. And then I moved from Goodfellas Lane about somewhere here. So here's your train station. We have County Road that comes down onto from Goodfellas Lane. Town Hall is there. This is all gotta go. This is Creek Road, Station Road, all the way down. This alignment needs changing. So this is the old line to Wisbeach, which in our time period would still be active. There's some industries out here that we've got to do. This road is all sorts of wrong. So this is Estover Road, so that should be straight. Again, don't blame the map creator at all. I'm going off local knowledge and memories, which unfortunately he doesn't have. So he only has historical maps, which, yeah, and what gets overlaid and printed out. So essentially, his map creation will give him lines like this. And I've already deleted a road out of here. But that's what it gives him to go on, is on the height maps, it'll put bumps in where roads and other historical things should be. So it's an inaccuracy with the height map. There, that'd be Elwyn Road. My doctors used to be here, so there should come to about here and have a step in it and come across and then go up. This again, yeah, nothing like that. Certainly not in our time period. This is the High Street from here. This is Broad Street here, which is way too small. And what we're going to get building wise there. Let's have a look. Here I see commercial. So if I go 2x2. No, I want just a little. Right, that's way too high. Come on. But anyway, so we need, before Station Road here, we need to get probably 20 or so buildings. Now, I know we're not going to get it perfect. But yeah, that's just not going to work. And this here should be a road. There's a rather steep bank down to the river, which you have kind of got going on. I'm going to see if I can lower that bridge down at all and still keep it navigable. But yeah, that's not enough. As I say, we're not going to get it 100% because the buildings are out of scale. There should be so much more down here. But yeah, this road here is out of place. So this road here should be a single track road, which should meet up with a road that comes across here, which is this road here, should be in a straight line. And then there should be a bit here, and then this should branch across, so on and so forth. Right. Instead of me keep talking about it, how about I actually get on and model it? That sounds like a much better idea, because we've got to get rid of all of this here. I mean, I kind of understand why it is all this, but at the same time, it shouldn't be there. There is no... Well, there is a footpath. Oh, yeah, this is going to take some mental mapping to work out what I'm going to do here. But as I say, this has all got to change. I think first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some rail tracks and get some trains running, because that's always going to make me feel better. So I'm going to jump into a little time lapse, delete some track and some country road, and put in some actual track. So let's go do it, shall we? Okay, I may have got a bit carried away here, so I completed up the time lapse, and then I was going to record this bit, got distracted, just thought I'll touch up a couple of things, and then I'll record this final section of the video, and then I got completely carried away. So let's have a look at March as it stands right now. So, a whole bunch of extra roads gone in. So, Norwood Road now comes to here. That's 100 Road, needs completing. It's on a slightly different orientation, as you can see there, but that's fine. Fenland Steel, Fenland's Fuel Refinery, they're going. Chemical plant, machines factory, it's going to be swapped out. Oil refineries down there, no, definitely not. They're going. As is Norwood side itself. In fact, let's get rid of Norwood side. Boom, gone. I wasn't expecting it to take out that much. Oops. Right, okay. Right, let's just delete that bridge as well then. You know what? We're deleting stuff. Let's just go all out. Right. No. What are you doing? Go like that. Yeah, okay. What are we doing here? Drag that out to there. Can we? There we go. That's better. Bridge seems a bit long. Can we? What? Bring it in a bit closer, maybe. Can we also? No, don't want it curved. Right, can I? There we go. Right, okay. Not the bridge we want. Not the bridge we want. Still not the bridge I want. Oh. Do you know what? That looks like exactly the bridge we want. I'm going to take it. Right. Let's continue on and repair this. So, right. Yeah. Leave that alone. Get that to there. Let's boop that in. Then this road. One second. I'm just gonna consult my map, because I should know this very well. So it comes up, yeah. Comes up to about there, and then we want short sprint there, and then we want to do that. Yeah, that's it. That's the puppy. Right, and then can I get this road? Just drag a little bit off there, and then we need a picker. Said it before. Say it again. I want a picker mod because I want to delete that. Want to delete that, and I want to delete that, and then is that that? Let's see. Yeah, ownership, yes. Oh, it's this one, right? Okay. What I want to do is just boop that in there, so that ends there. Right. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. So yeah, Norwood side has gone. It will return. However, there's just some changes that needed to be made. And one of the biggest things, and the reason I've deleted it and going to restart again, is Norwood side was set up as industry only, and I kind of get it. However, there are houses. There should be some houses here. Should be a post office here in the time period we're talking about. And should be a pub here. No, pub there. Sorry. Pub down here. Fenland Goods Factory. Well, I'm afraid there's houses there. There's houses here. There's a Brasa Club here. There is a nice big nature reserve here. And I want to feature all of that. And this bridge, where's my pillar gone? Hey, you deleted my pillar. What are you doing? Okay. Give me my pillar back. I hope I can get my pillar back. Right. Let's go back. Right, what bridge was it? I want that, but black. No, I want that, but black. Can I have that in black? No. Okay, mod maker. If you built these bridges and you see this video, can I have a black version of that, please? That was always known growing up. If we were going train spotting, that was the black bridge. There's a footbridge to go in there. And that was a popular spot for train spotting as well. There's a nice big play park to go in here. Houses all around here. And Norwold Street, that's going to go in right there. Here we have County Road. And growing up, there was always Sharma's store on the corner here. Little corner shop. Lovely couple that ran that. And they also had one, incidentally, in here somewhere. So this would be Gall Road, which comes down. Bypass to go through there. So the river has gone from here because I'm not sure what happened. There seems to be some confusion, but there's not a river there. Makes me kind of wonder if there ever was a river, but no river there. There is a marina to put in over here, but that's digressing. So yeah, Gall Road there. And there was another park on Gall Road about here somewhere. And you went through the park and it led to some streets that come out onto this road. which is Boroughmore Road. And in this housing estate, they had another shop. So you're learning all sorts of local history about March now. So yeah, Robin Goodfellas Lane from there, cross here, up here, cross here, came up here, and then this road here should be a single carriageway, one direction. And I need to move all of this because I feel it should sweep more straight across from... One second. Google mapping again before I get... Oh no, it does, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It gets to where Lidl is and then curves out a bit more and then comes across. I was going to say that Broad Street, which is this section from here to here, I always imagine it's longer in my mind, but of course it's all compressed. This single carriageway, so it's one-way street down this way, should be straight and should connect up with this road. That road should be there. These shouldn't. I imagine they've been placed in for reasons of just, yeah, making it more, I don't know. Right, so West End. Now in the time period this map was made, that was probably West End. I'm not comfortable calling that West End. That should be Pease Hill for me. So this is Pease Hill Road, round to here. This road should be more this way. I think. I don't remember it being that angle. But anyway, I do remember that there used to be a little dairy farm shop there, Baxter's, many, many years ago. That was really when I was a child. Yeah, that's got to go. Wisbech Road, I believe, started here. And it's got to come all the way down and out. Who started the simulation? Makes sense why there was that car. But I just see some changes on High Street. So this was Little London. Previously, it's now High Street. And I've done some work out here as well. So this is the bottom end of Badginey Road. This was as a rail bridge. It shouldn't be a rail bridge. It come up. It's on the grade. Level crossing that, which we're going to change. So I have added in an extra mod of crossings, which I'm not a massive fan of. And I took one out, which was for the different textures on these plates. And the reason I've took it out is because actually the textures aren't there. For whatever reason, I don't have the texture, so it wasn't working correctly. So we're going to change that crossing, change this crossing. Now, this should be one of these. Now, it doesn't quite work because of the angle, but this is Silk Road. I want, actually, Country Road is, so let's downgrade that, downgrade all of this, because that should, say, just be a little countryside road. That makes the gates look a bit better. Now they should technically go across. So, don't know what it's like now. I've not been there for years, but years ago, yeah, you'd have had crossing gates like this, and to go through, you would ring the signal box and say, is it clear? Is there a train coming? I don't want to die. Here we have Upwell Road, which funnily enough used to come out here and go to Upwell Road. This is, yeah, changing. This, I don't remember this. There should be a road that comes off here just for this crossing and go round and round. I do recognise this road. There needs to be a woodland here, and this road needs to be straight across. This is Dunham's Wood, and there's a miniature railway there. Still there to this day. I thought it'd closed down, but it is still functional. You can Google Dunham's Wood and you will find that, which is really cool. Estover Road needs to be straight. We'll fix that in another video. Train station. Just put in placeholder. I do need to go and play around with this. I'm going to do that off screen because I'm not familiar with how it works and I don't want to spend an hour fiddling with that and boring you guys to tears. Probably bored this video enough as it is. I don't know what all this is. That, yeah. Not at all what should be on the platform, but hey ho, we'll work on that. But yes, this should have a curved platform that comes out to here, which I need to play with and see if I can actually replicate that. Track 3 and 4, buildings down the middle. There used to be bay platforms here. And there used to be a bay platform over here. None of those were in operation in all the time I've been born. They've actually moved the line into Whitemore because this is still in use, but very much different from the era we're doing. This is a ballast reclamation yard, very busy. Many trains in there every single day, in and out. But they've realigned the track so it joins in this end of the station. I never really understood that, why they moved it from coming along here and using a crossover up here. This side, we've got a whole depot to put in over here. A whole host of sidings to put in here. And at the time frame we're going, not there anymore. It's all houses all the way down to about here. And this is bottom end of Creek Road. Should be houses on one side along there as well. But yeah, we've got a cement plant to go in there. So that's going to be exciting. That's coming in a future video. But yeah, I'm quite liking how this is going. No. Just a whole world of no. That was never a high rise. There'd never be a high rise. This is just a relatively small road that leads through to Creek Road, which, funnily enough, starts here. So this is Station Road. From here, boom, down to the station, funnily enough. And then it becomes Elm Road. Not sure if it's at the railway gates or there that it becomes Elm Road, but yeah. So Creek Road from this junction here, round, down, over hump, and I feel like that's not even doing it justice. It really is a climb. But it's steep enough on the track, so I don't want to go any higher. So it comes down. There's a coal yard to go here. And then a caravan site in our time period. I mean, I may be stretching it. I think the caravan site was in the 90s, but it's gone now. Anyway. Yeah, and Creek Road comes all the way to here where it meets Estover Road and beyond. So yeah, that. Oh yeah, the game's upgrading these roads. Look, I don't like that. So I've done a little bit here as well, just changing it up. So Market Square is to go here. Famous wonky Christmas tree that made the news in Australia and New Zealand, I think it was, a couple of years back. That's going right there, where the cursor is now. Here we have Elwyn Road. My doctor's surgery when I was growing up used to be here. And I need to upgrade all this as well. And then, yeah. Badginey Road, as I said before, comes down here. And, yeah. And the other thing I've done is, as well as laying all the track out towards Stony, don't think Stony's on this map. I don't think we get there. So yeah, as well as building that, I have removed the track bed as far as here, because we have a bypass in March that starts somewhere around here and comes round over the River Nene, out past the end of town, probably to, I want to say here. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to figure it out. In the way this is all spread, and it's got gasworks there, so Gas Road would be there. Yeah, it points to there should be a roundabout here somewhere, and the road leads on to Wimbledon. That's where the bypass needs to come in, and then it becomes Isle of Ely Way and runs along the old track bed, past Wimbledon, Doddington, and out to Chatteris. And Parkfield, not a place that's going to be on our map, because this is all Wimbledon. And it's quite funnily, actually, because there's a sign here that says that welcome to Wimbledon here, welcome to Doddington here. So if you're stood here, you're literally in the middle of nowhere. So we're going to recreate that as best we can. Quite a few of these industries are going to go. We're not going to be using this. We are going to be using these instead. I've got a crossover. So one side is passenger, one side's freight. And yeah, the idea is we're going to put a spawner for passengers, and any industries that need to come in are going to be either this end, or we're going to link them into our yard. And crucially, a lot of it is going to come from, let's scroll through all the extra industries we've got. Our mini industry, so anything I cannot place as an actual industry, like food processing, there's quite a few sites where they can go in real life. We're going to try and blend them in. But where we can't get away with it, we will use the mini industry. Anyway, I have been chatting for way too long now. This video is stretching out. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and you've managed to stay awake to the end of this. Hopefully you don't mind that I'm running two series concurrently, but I absolutely had to do something with this map. But anyway, with that said, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.